Hey guys, welcome back to the Wall Street Bull. Anthony here. I hope you're all doing well and staying positive out there. You know, with my dividend investments, this is something that I'm very passionate about, and I've hit a milestone, which is very, very nice, and I'm going to go through that with you now. Let's get straight into it, guys. Massive shout out, and thank you to every single one of you who have subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button down there and turn on that little bell notification as well, because as you can see right here, I love documenting my journey with investing, with cryptos, dividend stocks, growth stocks, talking about passive income, building financial freedom, and of course my goal at the end of the day is to build generational wealth. So come along this incredible journey right here, because it's absolutely been insane. And also, if you can give this video a thumbs up, watch it straight through, it would really help me push this channel out to a lot more people, because the YouTube algorithm is absolute magic when you find, ladies and gentlemen. Do that. Make sure you give it a good old thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything. It's down there. Thank you very much. You guys absolutely rock. Also, a little disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own research and due diligence with this stuff. I do not want to see anyone get financially hurt. That is why my number one golden rule is I only invest what I can afford to lose. And yes, we don't like to lose. You can lose money like that in the blink of an eye with any kind of investment. So please be careful out there. Do your own research and due diligence. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the formalities are out of the way. And yes, I'm going to do a dividend stock portfolio update today. Now, I'm just looking back to my first videos on YouTube, which were hilarious. 2 years ago, buying Exxon, Mobil, and SPHD. I mean, I wouldn't be called the Wall Street Bull if I wasn't invested in Wall Street, to say the least. But anyway, just looking back at this now and see how far it's actually come from here. I mean, it's absolutely wild. I mean, look at this. You know, I started with $300 in this portfolio, and basically it's grown and grown and grown, and like from $19,000 basically to $75 a month in dividends. Now growing so much, guys, it's crazy. And I'm going to show you right here. So again, I use the brokerage here in Australia, Stake. There is a referral link below. Please feel free to use that. You will get a free stock in Dropbox, GoPro, or Nike. And I will say that it'd be very difficult to get a stock in Nike, just to say, because it's quite an expensive stock. Anyway, feel free to use that, guys, and do your own research. Now, obviously, you can see here that there is $55,709.77 basically in the portfolio, which now totals just over 80,000 Australian dollars, which has taken me a very long time to do this. Again, we have to invest obviously a lot more to buy the US dollar. Here in Australia, it's really annoying. And this takes a lot of time. But anyway, on the day, obviously today being Thursday, the 9th of February, I am down 0.54%, which I'm not too worried about. I'm still up 15%, which is really good as well. And again, my investing strategy has moved to income-orientated investments, such as covered call ETFs, high dividend yield ETFs as well. Obviously, and I do have my favorite traditional stocks as well that I do hold, which provide me income, but mainly income generating assets, which allows me to compound a lot faster and get that fire, which, you know, is basically retire early, into play a lot quicker. Now, moving on to some stocks that I have been dollar cost averaging into right here. And I've got my biggest holding, which is CLM, Cornerstone Strategic Value Fund. It is a closed-end fund. And again, there's been a lot of controversy on controversy, can't even speak, on closed-end funds. A lot of people don't like them. You've got to be very careful with them and basically do your analysis. Now, in the Patreon, I have done some significant analysis on these funds to basically demonstrate, you know, that when you invest in closed-end funds, they're not just returning your capital. Basically, if you put $1,000, they're just returning your capital of $1,000 in the form of distributions, which is dividends. So a lot of these funds, basically, that I'm personally invested in are returning income as well, which is more important. Now, CLM obviously is a monthly dividend payout. I get paid every single month for this. The dividend yield is sitting at 17.52%. Now, I just want to point out as well that with regards to these closed-end funds, it's not about the actual stock price return. I'm more invested in the income return, and I'll tell you the reason why. When an S&P 500 or S&P 500 index fund like VOO, for example, obviously you'd need to sell off your position in the S&P 500. Obviously, that's incredible for capital growth. However, you would need to sell your asset. Whereas with income investing in high generating income generating stocks, you would not need to sell your assets. It would continuously generate you income. That's the difference. Anyway, I currently have 457 shares of CLM right here. And I'm down 8% in my total investment. I'm not too worried about that. But again, this is generating me monthly cash flow, which I'll show you in a moment. Some other ones that I'm dollar cost averaging into every single week, literally into this is obviously QYLD. And again, this is a covered call ETF on the NASDAQ 100 right here. So again, Global X is the biggest covered call ETFs on the market right now, and there's a few of them. I'm basically invested in all of them. Again, a dividend yield of 12.69%. This pays out dividends every single month, which is nice, and it's one of my biggest positions. 294 shares, and again, I'm down 1.97% of this right now. My average buy-in is at $17.32, so I'm down a little bit on that one. One that I'm really crazy on at the moment, and it's paying some absolutely absurd dividends right here, is USOI, which is a covered call ETF for oil. That is it. So crude oil right here, and it's $83.73 a share. Pays out monthly, again, which is just ridiculous. 40.84% dividend yield. Now, again, this is just one of those FOMO ones that I'm in, but it's proving to be quite good. Has increased a little bit right here in price today on the day, but I'm down 1.49%. But again, this is just purely to generate income. It is a Credit Suisse fund right here, and there's also another one that does silver, but USOI is definitely one that I'm dollar cost averaging into. Now, they did have a stock split right here, so 20 for 1. So if you held 20 shares of USOI, they gave you 1 stock back or something like that, along those lines. Anyway, that happened last year, so again, that's why I've got those stocks now. Moving on to some other ones right here. We've got RA right here, which is real assets, which is Brookfield. This one is incredible as well. I did do an analysis on this in the Patreon, so it's linked below. Again, this one actually provides you the income back instead of your capital. And it's a covered call, it's a fund as well, covered call fund. 13.28% dividend yield right here, 27 shares, $481 in equity, which is really nice as well. So this is Brookfield Real Assets Income Fund. And some other ones here, of course, that I'm looking at are SVOL. I'm moving down to these. Sorry, I've got so many of them in the portfolio. Let me bring this up here right now. Another closed-end fund as well. Simply Volatility Premium. $22.49 a share, 15.98% dividend yield right now, and I'm up 3% on my investment, which is nice. $981 in equity. And again, this provides me dividends every single month, around about 30 cents USD, which is crazy. Other than that, the other one here is also CEFD. And again, I'm not sure why the data is not there, but $22 a share. And again, it's a closed-end fund right here, the E-Trax. 15.07% dividend yield, which is crazy. I'm up 3.18% of my investment, again, which is nice. I've got 20 shares of this, and I'm slowly dollar cost averaging into this one as well, because, again, this is very similar to, CLM and the previous one, USOI, and all that kind of stuff like that. They are basically are not giving your income back. They are basically giving you, your initial capital. They're giving you the income. So you can look that up on Morningstar as well. So go check that up as well. Each fund has a rating, and you can actually see the distributions coming back to you. Moving on, guys, we do have some other favorites, of course. My biggest holding in my position right here is Exxon Mobil, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to XOM right here, and I've seen some insane returns in this. Again, this is traditional, normal quarterly dividend paying stock, which again is built up in my portfolio. 3.17% dividend yield, which is actually quite good for Exxon Mobil. I've had a 123% return on this, so basically $6,700. This is what happens when you buy people's fear. Straight up example right here, but 107 shares. I've got $12,231 in equity in Exxon Mobil. Pays dividends actually quarterly, which are some of my biggest dividends right now. What else we got here, guys? Now, I just want to quickly point out that there are the other Global X funds, which I am invested in, which is RYLD right here. This is the Global X covered call ETF on the Russell 2000. 12.93% dividend yield right here, and I've got 88 shares valued at $1,700 US. There you go. That is slowly building up. Takes a long time, and it's a lot of hard work right here. And XYLD is another Global X fund right here, an S&P 500 covered call ETF right here, 12.77%. And again, I'm down 5.58% to obviously $50, but I'm not too worried about that. 21 shares. And again, I switched my dividend investment strategy to this because it's generating me a lot more income a lot faster because I'm older in age. Now, the younger you are, the better you are in terms of positioning yourself into a standard ETF, such as SPHD. Again, this is an S&P 500 high dividend yield. This is 3.77% dividend yield, providing monthly income. One of my biggest positions as well, 123 shares of this valued at $5,500 US. And that is pretty much it for Stake, guys. And yes, I do receive dividends right here. I'm not sure how the app is going to work, but if I go down to the dividend app right here, you can see all those dividends coming in there, which is really nice. That is literally almost every day of every month. Very, very nice. Now, let's quickly go to my dividend tracking app. I'm not affiliated with these guys. They did just put up their fee to use this. But anyway, I've been using it for years. You can probably find it on the Apple iStore. It is called Div Tracker, DIV Tracker. Go check it out. And again, let's have a look here. $6,254 in dividends a year. So again, it's grown significantly. My monthly dividends are $521 a month. I'm earning $17 a day. I remember that was like 50 cents to $1 to $2 a day. So again, that has grown significantly since I've changed my strategy. My average yield is about 8.79%, which is nice. My top payers right here, guys, are obviously CLM, QYLD, USOI, Exxon Mobil, RYLD, SPHD, SVOL, and Enterprise Products Partners, which again are pretty crazy in terms of dividends. But CLM is my biggest position right here. That has grown in dividend income, same as QYLD and USOI, biggest ones. Now, I've got a goal of $100,000 a year in income that I've reached 6% of, which is crazy. And dividends receivable this month still is $125, which is nice. And of course, my portfolio here, I'm not sure why this doesn't go to 80K, but anyway, just whatever it is $80,000 today. You can see all the holdings right here, and you can go into them and basically check out the distributions, which is really incredible as well. Something I really like to use. Now, for example, let's go to USOI. And again, this is the Credit Suisse X-Links Crude Oil Shares Covered Call ETN right here. Now, obviously, you can see here this is my yearly income, $659 a year. Quarterly right here, monthly and daily, which is nice. But where I like this is basically here. Last year, they had dividends per share of $3.92 right here, where it gets crazy, right? They have a dividend. They had one in June, $5.05 right here per share, which is just insane. And of course, if you go to the last dividend paid out in January, it was $1.38. So it is slightly increasing from December. Obviously, November, right, October and September, it was $2.54, $2.64. It fluctuates dramatically, but where it gets crazy is this, all right? If you go 10 years in this stock and you reinvest the dividends, it's going to be worth $56,000, and it would provide me, in this one particular stock alone, $19,000 a year. Crazy, in 10 years. Where it gets wild is in 20 years. It's going to be worth $7.5 million with reinvested dividends, and it would generate me $3.1 million a year. That it would basically own 58,000 shares of USOI. Absolutely crazy. And now where it gets really wild is when you go to my total portfolio and reinvesting those dividends. In 10 years, the portfolio is going to be worth $339,000. It would be worth $67K, which is ridiculous. Basically, generating $67,000 a year. In 20 years, the portfolio is going to be worth $15.2 million, and it will generate me $5.9 million in income. We'll see how that goes, but again, it's highly likely that it will because, again, reinvesting dividends is basically the system that I'm going to be using and not taking any money out unless I'm really, really desperate. That's the main key right here. And monthly income, you can see basically November was $600, December $400. So we've got March coming up, which is a big month for me, $560, which is crazy. This is in Australian dollars, by the way. May's $342, June $644, July $420. Some big months for me are going to be November, which is going to be $584, which is the biggest month, which is just crazy. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my dividend portfolio. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end of the video. I appreciate it. There is a referral link below. Please feel free to use that. And join the Patreon because I do put up all my buys, my sells, and my analysis every day, which is really nice. So check it out. Link is below, all right? Stay safe. Peace out. Bye.